Hi students, welcome to LTX classes. This is me SPR. We're gonna see the wetlands part 2 session of the important topic, that is wetlands, which is more important in your UPSC perspective. If you're viewing this video, kindly view the video that is previously that has been taught by me SPR regarding the wetlands. So guys, today I'm gonna see about the topic called wetlands as a part 2, which is most important in the mains and prelims point of view. I had already shown a number of questions in mains. Two plus questions has been asked in the last 5 to 6 years, and prelims, if you consider in last 6 to 7 years, there are 10 plus questions that are directly linked up to the wetlands. So this wetlands stands as a major and most important topic for your examinations. So kindly guys, if you are viewing this video for first time, kindly subscribe to our channel, and also if you like the way of my teaching and everything, kindly give a like button and also kindly comment. So don't forget to comment guys, because your comments makes me motivational and also makes me enthusiastic to make more videos for you, and also provide the content that is efficient for you, where you even if you refer some sites, you can't even get this data in just a single site, because I refer multiple international organizations, state sites, and also private websites. So overall, we compare a many sites and we provide an efficient video for you. So lots and lots of efforts goes on in our background in our content team. So for our efforts, kindly we need a positive comment from you that will boost us to make more videos and also provide a more content for you. And also let me have a brief view of what I had taught in the previous video, and then I can get into the topic. What here I had provided what is a wetland, basic importance of that, and everything in detail we had seen, just which was present in the recent current affairs. As I had shown the previous mains question what had been asked in the wetland, and also the prelims question which has been repeatedly concentrating on the wetland related concept. And next we had seen the one more question. So in the past 5 to 6 years, there is a continuous repetition of this wetland, and then important 5 wetlands that has been newly added recently. That 5 new wetlands has been explained in detail by me. The 5 new wetlands that are the Pichavaram mangroves, and also here Palikarnai and Karigili bird sanctuary, Shakya Sagar Lake, Pala wetland. These are all the important wetlands that has been included. Everything in detail has been explained by me for you. Okay, in this video what I gonna do, let me explain in a brief. So in this video I'm gonna do a detailed analysis. Like first I'll be analyzing the map. So first I'll be providing the map, and map related where are the important so-called wetlands located. We'll be seeing all the important wetlands through map analysis, and again I'll be provide all the related importance of the wetlands, types of wetlands, that too with the image oriented study. Then I'll be providing theoretical study. In the theoretical study I'll be providing what is important for your most of the mains, prelims, everything. Okay, theoretic mostly mains oriented study I'll be providing. So kindly make patience and watch it clearly, so that you'll be understanding everything in clear. Okay guys, before getting into it, this year recently in July there is a 5 wetland has been added. Is there any other new wetlands that has been added in a recent past? Means there is a 2 more wetlands. See here, there is 2 more wetlands that has been announced by the Ramsar Convention, which means international importance as a wetlands in India. 2 more wetlands in February of this year. Okay, so wetlands, 2 more wetlands of this year for the year 2022. So overall in 2022, how many wetlands has been announced by India is total 7. So recently 5, previously that is 2. So that 2 also stands as important, because this has been announced this year 2022. So I'll be detailing explaining them also. Then we can get into the topic. Here total wetlands. Now present total wetlands of India is now, previously it was 49, now it has risen to 54. Okay, so now total is 54. Okay, remember that. And now again the 2 additions, which means 48th and 49th wetland, both the things will be explained by me in detail. Okay guys, here Kijadia, what is it? The name is Kijadia Wildlife Sanctuary. So one is Kijadia Wildlife Sanctuary, another thing is Bakira. Okay, na? Okay, let me show them through image map, and then let me get into the details. See here, Kijadia, this was announced in 2022. See here, this is located in Kutch. See here, which means here where is it? It is in Gujarat, near the Kutch region. Here you can see there is a salt water inlet in this region. So many of them will be confused that this wildlife sanctuaries closest to the sea. So mostly this will be of brackish or saltwater. But the twist over here is this is a pure water. So here this is a fresh water wetland, so which is the thing that you may get confused while you are preparing either through map or others. So something will be having a major importance. That importance must be remembered for sure for your UPSC preparation. Okay guys, one more thing that was announced is in UP. In UP, this is the one Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary in 2022. This is the another wildlife sanctuary announced in 2022. That is Bakira, present in close to the Gagra River or on the floodplains of the Ganga. So this is Bakira, which is more important. Now let me explain theoretically why they are important, and then I will take you to the all the wetlands and will be visiting everything in detail here. Kajitia, okay, Kijadia Wildlife Sanctuary is present in Gujarat. Okay, this is present in Gujarat, and this has been announced as a wetland in 2022 as a 48th wetland of India. Okay, what is it has importance? So here this is the third largest wetland of India. And next, this is a stopover for migratory boats. So many migratory boats which travel between the countries will be stopping and move from there. So this acts as a stopover for the migratory birds which travel around the world. And next, this is a freshwater. Okay, this is a freshwater wildlife sanctuary or freshwater so-called wetland. So how could it be freshwater? As it is closest to the so-called creek, which means Kutch land, where most of the land will be salty nature or sea water will be getting inside it. So how could it stay freshwater? See here, this has a story behind. In 1920s, the ruler of the region, Kutch region, has built a bund. Okay, he had built a bund so that the seawater or salt water doesn't enter into this so-called Kijadia Wildlife Sanctuary. So this had become a pure water wildlife sanctuary or wetland for now. And also this is a marine national park. See here, marine national park. Always remember one thing guys, if something is a marine national park, mostly it will be a saltish water. This is a marine national park, still it is a freshwater, natural and pure water wildlife sanctuary. Something when you are studying, if it has unique steps and unique points, that will be more important. Kindly remember that word, that will save you in your prelims examination. Nowadays exams are getting tricky. Whenever it is getting tricky, you must also prepare it in a same trickiness. Okay guys, now next one is Bakira. As I said, Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary is part of Uttar Pradesh. So this is a part of eastern Uttar Pradesh. This is part of UP, mostly eastern Uttar Pradesh, and also highest number of Ramsar sites. UP has a high number of Ramsar sites in it. So total 11. So after the UP, highest number of Ramsar sites are located in one thing is Punjab. So highest is in UP, then Punjab, and next comes the Gujarat. This is the list of category of the so-called wetlands in a hierarchical order. And next comes the Sant Kabir. Okay, this Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Sant Kabir district, Sant Kabir Nagar district of the UP. So you may not remember this district because that will not be asked most of the time, but this is formed along the flood plain. So this is formed along the flood plains of the so-called Ganga tributary Gagra, and this is a fresh water. Okay, this is a freshwater wetland. So this is the importance of the so-called Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay guys, now I'm gonna take you as a journey to the wetlands through India map, whatever located in India map, and why are they more important. Let me start with Kerala. See here guys, I'll be marking few things. Here this is a map oriented study where I will be taking through map and I will be explaining which location and importance. And next I'll be saying few wetlands, which means there are 54 no, total 54. Last video I had analyzed the 5, so remaining I'll be providing over here. Among these 54, you must remember one thing for sure guys, that is here few more than 10 to 15 wetlands will be strategically important. If a wetland is strategically important, you must analyze it. So you must study it as a case study. So you must study it as a case study, CS, which means case study. You must clearly understand that so-called wetland in a clear-cut manner that you may not make any mistakes further. Because nowadays target-oriented questions also has been asked. I will also say previous questions which has been linked to which wetland. Okay, guys. So kindly bear with me because this is a map study. It will take time and also, but you must be way enough to be more patient to understand everything. Here, Vembanadu wetland. So Vembanadu wetland is along the coast of so-called Kerala, which is more important in the Kerala perspective study. And also remember this, Vembanadu requires a case study too. Astamudi. So Astamudi Lake is also present in Vembanadu. Then Shastam Kota Lake is also located in Kerala. So totally here 3 wetlands of the Kerala. Next, previously according to Tamil Nadu there is only Point Calumet Wildlife Sanctuary and Bird Sanctuary. BS means Bird Sanctuary. This is the only thing that act as a wetland of the Tamil Nadu. But now new additions here in Chennai. Here you can see Pallikaranai. What is it? Pallikaranai. So one thing is a Pallikaranai. Okay. Next. So next here is a so-called Pondicherry. Below that Kadalur. Part of the Kadalur there is location of the Pichavaram. So what is it? Pichavaram wildlife. So not wildlife, mangroves. Pichavaram mangroves which will act as a wetland. And next to the west of Chennai, here is the location of the what we call as Karigili New Wetland Bird Sanctuary located in the Kanchipuram district. So if you come to AP, there is one and only so-called wetland, that is Kolleru Lake. Kolleru Lake is located between the Krishna River and Godavari River, and between them along the delta this has been formed. And next come to Odisha, here Chelka Lake. Remember the Chelka Lake for sure. You need to study this as a case study. Chelka Lake stands as the most important because first Ramsar site announced is none other than this Chelka Lake. This is to the south of the Mahanadi. See here I am also providing state, location, importance and also rivers that are located closest to the so-called wetland. Bitarkanika mangroves. Bitarkanika mangroves needs a case study which is more important. So if I am saying something which is important in a case study, kindly mark it and read about it. This is along the estuary or where the Brahmani river joins the Bay of Bengal. And next important thing is Sundarban. The India's largest wetland is none other than Sundarbans. Next comes the East Kolkata wetlands along the Ganges river. And next here Sundarban wetland is part of the joining of the so-called Brahmaputra and Ganga. And next, if you are coming to the northeast, there are mainly 3 wetlands. There is a one more wetland recently added, part of the Mizoram. Here Rudrasagar Lake, this is part of Tripura, which is more important in a northeastern region. And next here comes a Pala wetland, part of the Mizoram. There is a wetland called Pala. And next Loktak Lake, which is Kibjo Lemjo National Park, which I had completely analyzed in the previous videos of the places in the news. And this is also considered as the one of the world's topmost largest floating lake, okay, floating national park. And next here along the Brahmaputra river there is a wetland called Deepor Bil. This is part of the flood plains of the Brahmaputra. And next here comes along the river Ganges, there is a Kanwar Tal located in Bihar. And next Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary. See here number of wetlands are high in UP. Those are the things that I am going to explain for you. One is Samaspura Bird Sanctuary, Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary, Parvati or Arga Bird Sanctuary, Sandy BS, Saman Bird Sanctuary, Sarsai Nawar Jeel. These are all the parts of the so-called mostly along the Gangetic plains. And next Nawabganj Bird Sanctuary, Upper Ganga River. See here there is a clumsy, which means a club of so-called wetlands located along the so-called Ganges River and its floodplains. And next here you can see Asan Barrage, Renuka Lake. Remember this lake? This is the most important because this is the smallest wetland of the India. Already I had said largest, as I had mentioned earlier through the map, that is Sundarbans, and smallest is Renuka. There is a question already asked related to Renuka and also Roper. Roper wetland is a part of the so-called Haryana and borders of this region, so which is a sensitive zone and important. So this is stood as a most important thing. So next, Nagal Wildlife Sanctuary is a wetland important part of the Punjab. Yeah, this is part of Punjab and the regions of Himachal Pradesh. Okay, guys, here two wetlands of the Ladakh, which is more important because Ladakh is a part of called as the now it is Union Territory and which has a two main Tsor Kar and Tso Moriri. These are the two important so-called wetlands. This is also glaciatic wetlands. Okay, there will be sometimes snowfall and also glacier formations along the so-called wetlands. So this stands as a more important. And next, Chandratal in Himachal Pradesh. Next, Pong Dam Lake. This is part of BS. So this is a part of BS. This is an artificial wetland, part of Punjab and more important. Next, when you come to the Jammu and Kashmir, Wular Lake. Lake stands as an important tourism site for the Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, and also Hoker Sar wetland. This is also part of the Wular Lake and closest region to the Wular Lake. So this stands as a more important. Next here, Surisar Mansar, part of the Jammu and Kashmir, and here there's a club of more wetlands located in Punjab. Let me say them, and whichever something is important, I will explain that. Harike wetland, which is more important, that has been already asked in the UPSC previous questions. So remember that. Kanjli wetland, BS Conservation Reserve, and also Kishore Miani Community Reserves. These are all the important wetlands located over there. Okay, guys, when you come to the Haryana, here is Bindawaz, Sultanpur National Park. These are more important. So, okay, next. Rajasthan, the most important wetland reserves are here Sambar Lake, Kyoledio National Park. Remember one thing, guys, even if you are studying more case studies, don't forget to study this Kyoledio National Park because this is a bird sanctuary, tiger reserve, and also a wildlife sanctuary, and many biodiversity sites have been located over there. And this is also a wetland, and also this has a major importance because number of artificial lakes has also developed in this region. So this is a more important, and also India's first wetland reserve is none other than this Kyoledio National Park. So this stands as a more important in your preparations. In Madhya Pradesh, there is a Bhuj wetland, and next Gujarat, as I had Kijadia wetland, I had explained in detail, so no need to explain it again. Next, Tol Lake, Nal Sarovar Bird Sanctuary, and next Vadwana wetland. Then, if you come to the so-called Maharashtra, there is Lonar Lake. Lonar Lake is geographically important. This has a geographical significance whenever you are studying Indian geography and Indian physical geography. Part of the study you will be come across in this Lonar Lake, which is more important. There is a dam, gravity based, many science concept linked up to it, so you can study over there. And also next, Nandur Madhyameshwar Bird Sanctuary, which is the beginning of the Godavari River, which is more important in Maharashtra. And next here, overall you don't know, you can recognize one thing. There is no wetlands in Karnataka, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. Okay, so few other places, many states doesn't have any so-called wetlands. This is a map-based importance of the all over wetlands, and few details I had provided based on the map study. Now, image-oriented study, as I had explained earlier, I will be showing wetland study of the images. Here, what are all the wetlands and what are all the types of wetlands that are located? So, in brief, see here the lakes. Here, lakes where the water-based vegetations can be found. Water-based vegetation can be found that are called as a lakes. This is also a part of wetland. And next, we can consider what are the coastal wetlands. If you are coming to the coastal wetland, marsh. What is this marsh? Marsh means mostly you can see here I have mostly a grass type or more than knee bound, which means less than knee height. So mostly up to the height of knee and these things, there will be a more types of vegetation has been found with water. Water will be high and vegetation will also be high. There is no large or huge plants, but only a medium size, a hip size or knee size, more grass like grown vegetations will be found. That region is considered as the marshlands. Then swamp. Swamp means there will be a water present over this region. So water level also will be to the surface of the plants, and also huge and large woody plants will be located over the region. This is considered as swamp. Then comes the upland. So you would have understood what is the wetland. So if you are asking anything about coastal wetland, swamp, marshland and lakes are the important things. Then here, based on the river, what are all the wetlands, how they are formed, everything through the image oriented study I'll be providing you. First of all, river starts over here and it flows. Let me take you here. When river flowing along its course, it will be, what it will be doing? It will be spreading over to certain regions. So it will be depositing the minerals, soils and many other sedimentations and everything that it had brought along the journey. So these regions, because of the flow of the river, there will be a plains formed where agriculture will be standing as a major activity, and alluvial soil which will be favoring mostly paddy cultivation, that is called as a river flood plains. This is also a part of the so-called wetlands. Next, let me show you oxbow lakes. Here nothing I'm providing as a definitions, I'm providing everything as a image oriented understanding. So now when a river flows with bends, s-shaped bends and flow, here due to the s-shaped bends, when it comes sharp edges, here there will be a cut happens, so that will be forming into a like crescent shaped, also inverted crescent shaped so called lake, that is called as the oxbow lakes. Okay, next, so where the river combines the sea or ocean, so here river combines the sea or oceans, this region where the fresh water meets the salty water, brackish water, then this is called as the estuary. And next, swamps. Here water in the surface, water will be present to the surface of the plants and huge plants will be located. This region is called as the swamp. And here mostly the grass like structure of the vegetation will be found, not trees. So other vegetation other than trees are considered as the marshy lands or marshlands. And next, lakes, which is part of the one of the wetland important for your study. And next, whenever a dams and such things are constructed along the water bodies, the region that has been formed artificially by the humans is called as artificial wetlands or human made wetlands. Okay guys, now I had taught you with the image what are the river based important wetlands in your exam preparations. Okay, let me show you few other important vegetations related topics. Okay, yeah, here bog is a type of wetland where there is a acidity, high acidity. The pH value is greater than, not greater than, less than 7. Okay, let me take a pen. Yeah, and next there is a fen. This is also a type of wetland where the land or water will be mostly alkaline in nature. And next, when you come over to the swamps, where whose dominant vegetation is trees and woods, water will be along the surface, water level will be to the surface, and also it will be dominant variety of huge plants, trees, everything is covered over this region is called as the so-called swamp. And next, here comes the marsh. Marsh means wetlands other than plants and big trees and woods will not be present. Mostly grassy type of vegetation will be found. That is considered as the wetlands, marsh wetlands. Yeah, hope you'd have had a clear idea and everything in detail. Okay guys, so this is the image of normal wetland. Okay, recent times did you hear in a news, what is it, due to Godavari or Krishna river overflows, there is a many region flooded constantly every year during the season of monsoon or so-called northeast rainfall. You will be commonly hearing one thing. So floods has engulfed the regions and also floods has engulfed the cities. Floods has so-called floods has disturbed the lifestyle of humans. These news you will be repeatedly hearing. How it had formed? See here. These are all the general location of the wetland. Historical, this wetland holds as a major water. So when I'm now providing flood and link between the wetlands, how wetland can prevent the floods, and also how wetland will be acting as a flood control. Now the topic I'm providing through the image is flood control. So I'm teaching flood control through the wetland. So now I'm saying about flood control, how does it happen through the wetland. See here this wetland, you can see the water major is stored over here. So somewhere, so regularly whenever the rainfall is not continuous and drought because of the climate change, this so called wetland will be dried. So whenever this land will be dried, people keep on encroaching these regions, and also illegal constructions, and also many industries developed, and also infrastructure keep on developing in this region. So slowly this wetland will be converted into a major city or infrastructure, roads, cities, companies, industries, many things will come up in this region. So you can see why people are choosing this region. See here, if the water is close to surface, everybody will getting a good quality of amount for industrial need or basic needs or any other things. So obviously people keep on converting, but actually this wetland acts as a flood control, which means during heavy rainy seasons in the surrounding region, which means region surrounding it, the water overflow when it reaches to the regions where it will be stored is none other than wetlands. Wetland will be acting as a storage for the excess amount of rainfall and excess amount of water that is overflowing in that region. So when you keep on urbanizing these regions, developing this region, infrastructure improvement in this region, and slowly people keep on mounting in this region, so the cities will be developed on this region. So continuously when all things has been encroached and has been developed, now what do the water, see here, this surrounding region same amount of rainfall will be fought. So when the same amount of rainfall falls around this region, that water flows and over, it will be searching for the place to rest. So and naturally, historically, in years together, this place has acted as a major barrier and acted as a flood control. So excess amount of water is taken by this region. So when this excess amount of water flows on and when comes to over here and searches for the safe place to drain inside the earth, so there is no place. Everything is mounted with the infrastructure development, industries, companies, roads, and everything. So automatically now the water comes here, but there is no so called wetland. So automatically this has been converted into urban center. Now the urban center will be flooded. The same thing happened in Chennai. In Chennai, you can see in Chennai during 2015 due to Varda floods, the same thing happened where all the planes, for example, you can see recently the Chennai bus terminus in Coimbatore. Once upon a time, historically, it was a lake. So many other lakes, where lake means was it is a wetland. So in the similar way, when old and historical landforms with water storage, which has been acted as a flood control, has been conquered and converted into the so-called infrastructure development and also urbanization, that will lead to the more floods. So now floods are directly linked to the wetlands. So when you are misusing this wetland and when you are consuming this wetland, so automatically human will suffer. So the nature will be repaying you with lot more, that is none other than floods and deaths and many scarcity that has been happening. So now you will be understanding one thing. So you need to conserve this wetland, you need to protect this wetland. If you are not working to protect this wetland, then there is no future for your next generation. So that only all the international community has come forward and decided that we should take some steps to prevent this incident, so we should work on it. So the people of the world, international governments, which means intergovernments and international governments, come together in a place called Ramsar. So Ramsar is a place in Iran. So this is a city in Iran. So everybody come together in Ramsar and signed a convention. That convention is none other than Ramsar Convention. So this is what how the conservation of the wetland has been started. So this is how every government has started collaborating. So this is a conference of or convention of intergovernmental conference, which means intergovernmental means many governments come together and join a convention and say that okay guys, let's work together and work for the wetland. So okay, so now I'm gonna see something importance regarding the international importance of the wetland. Also, when is International Wetland Day? World Wetland Day is celebrated. The World Wetland Day is celebrated on World Wetland Day is celebrated on February 2nd. So February 2nd stands as an important day, part of the wetland conservation, because this has been given as an international importance and celebrated as the Wetland Day. And next 2022, this year the theme of the wetland is none other than, the theme of the day is the role of wetland for the role of wetland for people and nature. So people and nature, this is the so called theme of the wetland. And next here comes the convention. So Let me explain about the convention. This convention has been signed by international governments and many other organizations come together and say that, okay guys, let us collaborate and cooperate with each other for the conservation of the nature, that is wetlands. Okay guys, here. This is an international collaboration. So it is an international cooperations. So one thing remember, this is an international cooperation, but there is no mandatory such. So which means they don't make mandatory. Mandatory means what? Mandatory means what? You should not say you should do this work. There is no compulsion over here. This is a willing convention, which means you should show interest and you should sign the convention and you should work together with collaborations. So this is not a mandatory. And also next thing, and this has a national action plan. So here, after signing the conventions, governments come together and say that we should collaborate with each other, we should cooperate with each other and develop the so-called wetlands. So they come together and work, and also the nations must take action to conservation. What is this for? This everything is for conservation of the wetland. So wetlands to be conserved. So conservation. And next, when did this so-called Ramsar Convention has happened? This had happened during the year 1971, which is most important year part of the wetland conservation. So now, it has been combined on 1971. Then world's first wetland, which is the world's first wetland. So based on the convention, first wetland has been announced on the year. It was been announced on 1974. World's first wetland has been announced in 1974. The name is Cobourg Peninsula. Cobourg Peninsula. This is a part of Australia. So this is part of Australia. This is in Australia. This was announced as the first wetland. So here now I'm going to provide facts related to the world regarding the so-called wetlands or Ramsar sites. So after signing this wetlands can be considered as the Ramsar sites. Next here, largest wetland in the world, which is the largest wetland, that is none other than Rio Negro. Rio Negro is the largest wetland in the world, which is located in Brazil. So this took an area of 1,20,000 square kilometers. So this is the largest wetland in the world. And next you need to see which country has the highest number of, see here, highest number of wetlands. Which country has the highest number of wetlands in the world? That is none other than UK. UK has the 175 wetlands. Then Mexico has more than 142 wetlands in the world. And next, most protected area. So which country has the most protected area under this wetland? So total area wise highest, which means I'm saying about area wise which has a more area of the wetland. That is none other than Bolivia. Yeah guys, Bolivia has a large amount of wetland to be conserved and under the protection list. And next, what is the purpose? So they signed a convention. You need to know the purpose of the convention. Actual purpose of the convention is to reduce the loss to wetlands. So here wetlands are facing a greater loss and to reduce the loss of wetlands though. So now more number of wetlands are lost because of urbanization, man-made activities and many other reasons, climate change and many other reasons. Slowly these wetlands are lost. So you need to reduce the loss of wetland and also you need to conserve the wetland. So whenever we conserve it, then only we can protect it, then only we can save the human nature in the world and many other things you will come to know further in this video. So this is to conserve the so-called purpose of the Wetland Ramsar Convention. Now, what is the aim? So, what is the aim of this Wetland Convention, Ramsar Convention? This is a international cooperation. So, here you create a international cooperations. All the countries of the world come together to the save the so-called wetlands. So, and also how does it help for the international cooperation? So international cooperation has been happening, and with that there is a policy changes. So there is a policy making for the protection of the so-called wetlands. And next you need to build the capacity of the wetland. That is the main ambition or aim of the so-called wetland. And also here, technology transfer. So some countries will develop a new technology that will conserve the wetlands. That technology must be transferred between the countries, those who have signed this convention. So whenever some collaboration is been happening, that will be creating more technical transfer between them, so that all together work together for the conservation of the wetland. Next, how and why. Why do they want to select this wetland? So and how do they select this wetland? This is based on the importance. What is that importance? So if we come to importance, this wetland has ecological importance. Okay, this has ecological importance, then botanical importance. So botanical importance, so if you are not aware of these things, kindly visit the previous video also, because huge number of living organism, lifestyle, everything will be located in the ecological region of the so-called wetland. And also ecological importance is more high in this wetland. And also botanical importance means plant related importance has been high, because wide variety of vegetation can be found along the so-called wetlands. And then you can see over here zoological wetlands, which means a different and many types of living organisms, animals habitat are located along this wetland. So this is more and more important. And next you come to the hydrological importance, because this conserves the water. So hydrological importance of the wetland is high. So based on the importance, so that only they have been selecting this ramsar and also conserving these wetlands. And also now Ramsar convention has been signed. So how do they conserve? So even after signing, how do they plan to conserve? How do they plan to conserve this wetland? So how do they plan to conserve? So now you have created the wetland, you need to conserve them. How are you planning to conserve the wetland? Actually, the wetlands of international importance will be selected based on rare, unique, so rare and unique type of wetlands will be selected, and that will be considered as the international importance. So whenever you are giving international importance, how you can give importance to the wetland? The importance to the wetland will be given based, see here, importance to the wetland will be given based on the biological diversity. If a wetland has a biological diversity is very high, then that is more and more important. And then here we can see over important a list of wetlands to be maintained. So list will be provided and they will be added to the list as a important wetlands. And after list addition, this will be called as not just a wetland, this will be considered as the ramsar sites. So this is all called as the ramsar sites. So this is called as a ramsar site, and or this is of international importance. Now all the world will view as a this as a important wetland. So after that, the nation that has been mentioned in the international wetland, that will create a management framework. So here the work is done by the nations. They will create a management framework. So in that framework, what do? They work on the wetland. So the framework will be work on the wetland, and also most of the wetland conservations, and also they will be checking the and maintaining. So they will be checking and also maintaining, they will be maintaining the ecological character. The ecological character means how the wetland has been existed previously without disturbing that. Kindly maintain that. That is the thing that will be happening in the in the so-called wetland. So now you know how do they plan to conserve this so-called wetland. Then whenever you are studying, you will come across a word called Montreux. So that is Montreux record. So Montreux record, what is this Montreux record? First of all, let me tell you one thing. Montreux is a place in Switzerland. So this is part of Swiss. This is a Switzerland, place in Switzerland. So Montreux is a, what is actually Montreux record? Montreux record is a register. So this is a register of wetlands. So this is a register of wetland sites. So here all the wetlands internationally important, everything will be maintained. So detailed database. So this Montreux record will be maintaining detailed database of the so-called wetlands, which is more importance. How? So detailed database means what will be they maintaining in this database? They will be maintaining how the wetland is economically viable, which means economical importance will be mentioned. Then they will be mentioning the ecological importance. They will also be telling the ecological importance. So the ecological importance of the so-called wetland will be mentioned, and also why it is needed. So if a wetland is mentioned, why it is needed special protection. So you need to specially protect some wetlands. So how do you say that this wetland needed special protection? How it has been deteriorating, and also how to make a wetland sustainable. If sustainability of the wetland is falling down, you need to conserve it. So and also cooperation. So all the nations internationally and many other nations should be cooperating. Cooperation is needed, and also for conserving so called, which is considered as the wetland. This is what, guys, actually, when this Montreal record started, 1990. During the 1990, okay, there is a conference. There is a conference of the contracting parties. The conference of the contracting parties. The conference of the contracting parties is located over there. In that, they decided that to form a book of records, that is Montreal record. From then, all the Ramsar sites will be present over there, detailed locations will be present over there, details will be provided, everything will be given in the so called Montreal record. Okay, guys, now you have had a clear idea. Now I'm gonna say about India and Ramsar conventions. India and the Ramsar conventions, how India is part of the Ramsar convention, and what is so important regarding India. Okay, guys, I think so. It's taking long, but mains level questions you need to prepare hard and hard. Even why this video is important for you means, let me say you one thing, because you can't even collect this much data just at a one source. So this is a multiple source. So this video will be a one end preparation for your wetlands. You need not to refer any other books, anything for the more study. India had signed February 1st of 1982 this so-called Ramsar Convention. So now presently India has more than 54, not more than, exactly 54 Ramsar Convention or Ramsar sites. And next, highest number of sites, highest Ramsar Convention sites are located in UP. And next, largest site, so largest Ramsar Convention site in India is Sundarbans. So that is then none other than Sundarbans wetlands. And also this is the largest mangrove of the world. So this is the largest mangrove of the world. You need to study separately case study of the so called Sundarbans, which is more important. So kindly study it separately, which stands as a major important topic for your UPSC preparations. And also here, smallest wetland of the India, smallest wetland is a Renuka wetland. So Renuka wetland is part of, so where it is located, Renuka wetland is located in Himachal Pradesh, and this is a natural wetland. And also there is a mythological saying that Parashuram, who is a god, his mother is his mother name is Renuka. Based on her name, this name has been gained. And also first wetland of India is none other than two wetlands. One thing is Kioladio Ghana National Park. Kioladio Ghana National Park, which is more important because it's a wildlife sanctuary, national park, bird sanctuary. So this has a major importance. Then here comes the Chilka Lake. Both are announced on the same day. So both are the first. So here Chilka Lake, which is which is located in the Odisha. I had located it for you. So this is more important. This is a more important. And now regarding the governance of the wetland, how do India govern the wetlands? Does India make any laws and regulatories of the wetland? Is India made some regulations? Okay, India made some regulations for the regulations of wetlands in India. So to maintain and hold the wetlands and development activities of the wetlands in India, Government of India has come forward with legislative measures to work. So the act and rules is wetlands conservation of management. Okay, conservation and management, conservation wetlands conservation and management rules. So management rules 2021, so not 2017, so sorry, 2017. This is the main law that has been made by the government to maintain the wetlands. So guys, so overall importance of the world, importance of the state, everything I had covered completely. So that you think that this is an end? No. So mains question here, mains related question I'll be providing and ending this topic. So regarding mains level, so importance of wetland, if someone asks what is the importance of wetlands, here comes the importance that is more important for your preparations. Okay guys, now I'm going to say what is the importance of the wetlands. Here these are productive. So productive means what? This can provide food and also different types of lifestyle which is highly productive and can be economically productive, and food based productive nature will be fine. So how it is productive, let me show that. Okay, I'll be providing an example so that you'll be clearly understanding how it is more and more productive. If you're considering worldwide, two-third of the world's fish harvest. So, okay, two-third of the world's fish harvest is being done along the closer to the in the nearer regions of the wetland, not only nearer, in the wetland. So fish harvests are mainly concentrated on the wetlands only. So inland, this is a dominant factor. Even in the coastal regions also, this wetlands acts as a major zone for the fishing harvest. So this is more important because of this productivity. Then this will act as a watershed. So this will act as a watershed management. So this provides a nutrition balance between the land and water of the which is more important for the plant growth, vegetation and everything. So they will be providing nutrient balance, and also microbes. A large variety of microbes will be living over there. Plants live over there, and also plants are present over there, and also high variety of different variety of wildlife will be presented. And also this provides a global cycle. So this wetlands provide as a global cycles for the mostly water. Global cycle of water will be present, global cycle of nitrogen will be present. So everything is supported by the so called wetlands, so which is more important regarding the global cycle of these materials. And also wetland act as a global in wetland will be acting as a globally more important for the large carbon storage. So this stores more carbon, so this can be act as the carbon sink. And also this has a more vegetation which also indirectly and directly will be consuming more carbon dioxide, and also will be providing a oxygen which is required for the human living. And also here next, this wetland will be acting as a natural barriers. This will be acting as natural barriers. Natural barriers for what? For which thing? No, so it is acting as a natural barriers for rainwater. So when, as already I had explained through the image, so it will be acting as rainwaters, floods, and also it has a more variety of vegetation. So if you are having more variety of vegetations, so sometimes somewhere a flood happens or rainwater flows, so you can protect it from soil erosion. So soil erosion can be protected in this region just because of this wetland, which is acting as the most of the so-called natural barriers for the, and also natural conserved materials. And also here for the humans, how it is so important, human lifestyle and human way of living. Here greater than more than 1 billion people, so which means 1/8 part of the world, 1 billion people live directly closest to the regions of, so 1 billion, greater than 1 billion people are living in the so called regions. So this is one more important in a human related perspective. And next, if you are coming, more than 40 percentage, which means approximately 40 percentage world species, different types of small to bigger world species, every species will be living closest to this region called wetlands. Okay guys, if you feel I'm going fast, don't worry, because already there is a 50 more minutes over. So I'm providing a notes for your mains examination, so this will be helping you a lot. So that only I'm dragging little much bit speed, otherwise it will be taking more than 1 hour. I'm also losing energy slowly. Okay guys, let's work on it. So here, and next, this is a wetlands acts as a major source of food materials. So food grains are grown over here. Genetic diversity is present over this region, and also here this will be having a more medicinal plants. So medicinal values also will be present over here. This also protects the water and act as a hydropower source for the humans. And guys, these wetlands are beautiful places. You can see beautiful birds visiting these places, many living organisms being to. So when it is beautiful, this act as a tourism sites. So tourism, and also this act as a cultural centers of the human lifestyle, and also act as a spiritual centers. Okay, spiritual centers as the for the human. And this has a rich amount of biodiversity in this region. Okay, biodiversity is present high in this region. And also this stands as a main place for the aboriginals. Okay, aboriginal place people. So this act as a main place for the aboriginal people. And also here, let me tell you one thing, Indus Valley civilization has been developed along the river and water located places, which means Indus Valley civilization. And also here you can see that Euphrates, where here Mesopotamian civilization has developed along the Euphrates river. So near the water bodies, which means lakes, everything, water bodies will be present over there, and there is a wetland. These are all the things can be considered as a wetland. And next, one more thing, you can see mostly in the places over the Nile river and Egypt civilization has developed. So whenever you are comparing the international civilization in an ancient historical pattern, so most of the human civilization has evolved along the wetlands. I say that human civilization also dependent on the importance of the wetlands. And nowadays, a present day development of the industrial sector, infrastructure, everything needs water. So the water is in the groundwater, everything is provided through this so-called wetlands. And also wetlands act as a purifying agents, so it has act as a purifying agent, so which is more important. And also if you are considering industrial sector, fishing industry is completely dependent on the wetland and its importance. So guys, whatever points that I had delivered for you will be acting as a most important for your mains examination. Whatever the questions that is related to the wetlands importance, functioning, aim, everything will be related to these points that I had mentioned. Even you can add on much more points for the delivering of the content, so that will be dependent on your quality of understanding and delivering your answer. But things, most of the point that will be not go beyond this study, that is the thing I had explained. And final touch I will be providing about the threats. So this is also a mains answer, threats faced by the wetland, threats to the wetlands. Now I'm going to say what is the threats that has been faced by the wetlands, or threats that are to the wetlands. First and foremost thing is, as I had explained through the image format, urbanization. If you are considering urbanization, cities are developed and spreading over, urban sprawl and many urban conglomeration, urban encroachment. So major thing is encroachment. So encroachment, these lands will be empty. So slowly private agents or government agents slowly encroach these wetlands, and this has been an issue. For example, if you study a case study of Pallikaranai, which has been recently added wetland in Chennai, this is a major wetland that is facing a encroachment issue, and a large amount of wetland has been completely consumed by the IT, government, infrastructure and many other activities. So that itself is damaging the urbanization, damaging the wetlands. And also here agriculture, how agriculture can be damaging the so-called wetlands. So if you are considering the agriculture, paddy fields, if you are seeing the paddy fields mostly developed along the so-called wetlands. For example, if you see a lake previously years together, that would act as a lake because of the climate change and many other factors. If the water keep on drying, those people go on completely encroaching the area and converting the surrounding regions of the lake to the paddy fields. Because it needs a more water, these wetlands have a more amount of water, so they are easily converting this so called wetlands into the agriculture and paddy fields. And also pollution, human made activities, man made activities and artificial and many other things like fertilizers also, like fertilizers are mostly polluting this so called wetlands. And one more thing is, wetlands acts as a natural filters. Okay, this act as a natural water filters. So these natural water filters are so called polluted, then automatically this will be damaging and creating a havoc to the human lifestyle. Okay, then here climate change, present day climate change has created a major havoc to the so called wetlands. What is that? So droughts, because of the droughts many wetlands completely dry upon, and also because floods, this habitations living over there will be damaged. And also storms, that has also completely damaging so called the wetlands. And also coastal wetlands are suffering from the issues of climate change, like sea level rise. So sea level is keep on rising, so that will be completely damaging the coastal based wetlands. And next here dredging activity, which is mostly digging the surface of the so-called lakes or wetlands, that is continuously damaging the vegetation in the wetlands. And also draining, which means drainage. So drainage facilities which are being completely provided on inside, so mostly cities and many places the drainages are being taken and left into the so-called wetlands. So completely this wetlands has been damaged because of that. And also here exotic species, so you have exotic species which is not native to that region come and consume that region, so slowly this wetland is also getting damaged. And also salinization, so salinization means excess amount of groundwater is taken out. This will create salinization, and which will be a major issue for the wetlands. Okay guys, This is the overall idea of wetlands. So most of the wetlands has been covered and concept has been completely detailedly explained for your prelims and mains perspective for your UPSC examinations. If you want much more updates like this, kindly like, share and subscribe. If you like this video, kindly don't forget to comment. And also one more thing I request for you, kindly share with your friends, because even if you refer 10 to 20 sites, you won't get the collection of this much amount of data. So I'm working on it to deliver a content that to the optimum level, that if you refer my video, that will be more than enough for your content preparation. So I'm working in background for you, and also creating a greater content that will help you more in your preparation. So guys, this much efforts if I am putting forward for you, with your efforts, kindly give a comment and also kindly share with your friends. Okay guys, this is me SPR signing off. Have a nice day. We'll be touching up with much more videos, and if you want any other videos like biodiversity reserves and also biodiversity and other many other national forest and many other things, you can comment. So based on your request, I will also make something related to geography and places in the news that will help you in more studies, and also I can be more interactive. Okay guys, bye bye, take care, have a nice day.